In the wilderness here, along with my brother, Rattigan, Wilfred Rattigan. Yeah, man, but there, you know. And we there, let me tell you this, a fire we are spit, yeah? Remember last week we telling us we are going to file a lawsuit? Yes, against the commissioner. Because him is a danger to the people them of Jamaica. Dangerous. Clear danger. Yeah? And we file a lawsuit. And we're showing us we file it. We file it. Of course we have to file it. You understand? And Rattigan a liar too, you know. So him gonna dissect everything and we gonna hear what we file. I could just show a little touch of what we are going with ya. I could show them a touch of what we are going with Rattigan. Alright, see it? Una see it stamp on it, una see the date. Una know set 5. Okay, see it? Alright, some people, wanna see about this? Let me see this stamp and see the thing, you know. Alright, this I will file. But I have to file it. You see this over file? You know who against it? You see this? See date and stamp? Look who file it, look. Between Wayne Brown, and I look on it, on behalf of themselves and others, remember Jamaican Diaspora Community, United States, yeah, Canada, United Kingdom, Wayne Brown applicant. And you see who we are touched, look how the Police Commission Service first and the code second, Public Service Commission. You see it? Yes, you know who the last week. Come back from moving, look. You see the applicant? You can produce a citizen of Jamaica, that and that, you know, alright. So I'm just run through this. Alright, so I'm run through this. I'm going to show you who we are going for now. First, this is who we have to move him. I'm dangerous, you know. Very dangerous. So you see a major who this? Mm-hmm. So you see it? No joke. See it? Yeah, yeah, man. And let's see there. You see this? So I'm gonna make Ratty. I'm gonna go through it with you. Can I tell you say we have to lawsuit him? We have to move. No service. Because Jamaica citizen life in danger every day. So when I see this, I'm gonna show you some good things about it. You understand? See it? I run through it. Fine. Well, this is the first time ever. So you have to be serious when you do something, right? So you understand? You see me I say? So you see these kind of things? So I'm just showing you some things and showing you some things. And Ratty go through it and tell you the seriousness of this. Right? I'm a lawyer. So we're going to show it right now, and you see, yes. And the police, let me tell you this, so much people did under the commissioner, and the commissioner get 91% on them thing. They said this is a very serious thing. Right now, Jamaica, the lives, the homicide and everything, the people, them life more in a danger with a commissioner like this, 2020. Watch your figure. And then it go up. And you round it off in 2022. At approximately 1,500 murders. So under film and people life more in a danger. So we have a file man on good thing in you, see them there? You understand? So we have a cratic go through it as a liar now. Because this file, you know the court, we have to lawsuit him. You understand? So it run right down. So when you see it, no joke. Diaspora, we have to take our own thing in our hand. We're not joking no more. You understand? Jamaica Police Commission, I'm going to go. Yes, Ratty.
Yes. Up
I'm here, my brother.
there. Yeah, man. Well, people, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. My brother, thanks for having me on. And it's a joyous day. And I'll tell you why. Because see a whole bunch of people are calling my phone and go off of the whole because of you and what you do, you know. But me just ask Clem, let me call you back, let me on Lonesome Show. You can't tune in. Me call you forward. Yeah. So what happened now is that there are some things going on in Jamaica that we in the diaspora, a certain segment of the diaspora, we're not happy with. In fact, we're very unhappy with. And we've been talking about these things for a while. But as the saying goes, talk is cheap. You have to do something about it. And the people in Jamaica will realize that the wool has been pulled over their eyes to some degree. And a lot of them, they don't know what's going on. And so we here with the ability to really obtain and analyze documents and information that we've received from various sources, we're able to inform the people of Jamaica the conditions that they're living under and why certain things are taking place, and also why certain things are not taking place. So, what we this what my brother Lonesome decided to do, and he explained it to me a while back. He said, "I go in lawsuit," and me say, well, okay, me could see how that go because me have a little hearing thing when me I work on myself too. When me say myself, it's on behalf of the Jamaican people because not what we do for we, right?
Yes.
We don't do for we do for all our way because we are one family, one blood. And so we feel to understand why, if we are all one, why is it that our leaders, our so-called leaders, why is it that they're not taking care of the people, right? Because think about it, Lonesome and I, we don't have to do this, We're okay. But see them people that you see, them places behind me, them people are not okay. Them don't care. And if you look at policing, the way policing is done differently depending on where you live. If you live uptown, Cherry Gardens, Beverly Hills, wherever, them place there, and Narbrook, the policing strategy is different than if you go downtown or if you go in any one of the garrison places them. And I knew it because I've experienced it. So what the man did was the man decided, and I'll be honest with you, I was a bit surprised because I'm on the way to that don't because him called me and said, "Brethren, check your phone, And I look and he said, "What is?" And him say, "I eat that, Him say, "Look on the stamp." I say, "Wait, that today." I say, "Civil Division, Supreme Court." So essentially, people, what this is Lonesome filing on behalf of himself and the diaspora, and the respondents. You don't have a defendant in this case. You have a complainant because a civil action, and you have the respondent. The respondent being the Police Services Commission and Public Service Commission, because they have the right to install and remove police commissioners. Technically speaking, on the books, even though we know, say, whoever the Prime Minister wants to be the police commissioner, that person will be the police commissioner. And in this case, it became even more obvious when the Prime Minister plucked Major General Anderson from the military and bring him to be the first, I was going to say only, but the first national security advisor. And then with it, after a year and a little bit, all of a sudden we see him now police commissioner, right? And we don't think that the process was fair, but we accepted the process and said, okay, fine, no problem. He's a police commissioner. Well, we're going to give him our support. And we gave him our support and said, okay, clean up crime in Jamaica. And instead of cleaning up crime in Jamaica, crime has essentially increased under him, considering the amount of money when them claim them spend. If they said they hadn't spent any money from the last government till now, they hadn't spent any money, we could have said with it. But when you make an announcement that you're spending, and it's almost done now, 1.2 billion US dollars to fight crime, and we say crime still at levels before you start spending money, and even higher, then we have to start questioning the ability of the police commissioner to do his job. Then you add to the fact that 91% of people polled said that they have little to no faith and confidence in his ability to do the work, followed by no action from the Prime Minister. So then you have to stop and say, well, we need to take action now, man, because this is bad. If any company you work for, if you get a 91% disapproval rating, you're gone. The 91 disapproval rating will come with the directions as to how you exit the place and take your things and go. Well, that never happened. So the man decides, well, watch out. On behalf of the people in the diaspora, I'm going to file it. So essentially, that is it. Now it says here, give him address and everything like that. And here's what he's asking for. He's asking for leave to apply for a declaration. So it's also a declaratory judgment from the court that the circumstances of non-performance and the lack of public confidence in the Commissioner of Police are to consider it desirable to require the Commissioner to resign in the interest of the public and act pursuant to Regulation 26 of the Police Service Regulation, which means he must forgo. Alternatively, so one is he's asking the court for a declaratory judgment. So want a declaratory judgment because I have no faith and confidence in this man, and so he should go. Or we offer an order of mandamus, which is requiring the permanent secretary, which is asking the court to tell the permanent secretary to take steps according to Regulation 24 of the Public Service Regulation to retire him because he's over 50 years old and remove him from office for reasonable cause because of his inability to stem crime and violence and protect the life and property of Jamaican citizens and the consequent overwhelming lack of confidence of the Jamaican public expressed in him. No, this is all true. This is all true. This is all true. This is uncontrovertible. And also he's asking for the court to issue an order of mandamus, meaning the court should require the first respondent, which is the Police Services Commission, I believe, Police Service Commission, to disclose to the public whether there are performance evaluated clauses in the commissioner's contract, and if so, how they've been evaluated, what are the evaluated scores of the commissioner over his tenure. This is similar to what the Prime Minister said, I'm going to give everybody a job letter. Remember the job letter when they hear nothing more about the job letter?
Yes,
well, this is forcing them now to say, we want to see the police commissioner job letter. We want to see performance evaluation, right? And also a declaration that the decision of the Police Service Commission to keep the commissioner in office, despite the continued and current increase in serious crimes, homicides, criminality against the public's overwhelming expression of no confidence in the commissioner and the commissioner's lack of effective security plan, is in breach of the applicant's right to life and security of the person guaranteed in Section 13 of the Jamaican Constitution. So the applicants is the people that he's filing on their behalf, the 500 and some odd people, because everybody are Jamaican citizens. Every single one of them every single one of them have a Jamaican birth certificate.
Of course.
Every single one of them have filed for. And him says such further another relief as a court deems fit. Meaning that court, if you say something where we say to, we want you issue that as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So understand that this lawsuit is about asking the Police Service Commission to retire him, asking the court to force the Police Service Commission to show us his CV, as the man in the wilderness would have said. We want to see him CV and the performance evaluation.
True.
We want to say our his job letter, right? We want to say what was he graded on and what score did he receive on those grades. So now the Police Service Commission, they have to go to the Minister of National Security and the Prime Minister now, go get them information there and provide it. They have to respond to this. They cannot ignore this. Right?
The court, man.
Yeah, this is a request to the court to say, we want you bring them parties, Police Service Commission, Public Service Commission, in front of the judge.
Yes.
The court is bringing them in front and say, and in fact, when me talking now, Patok, it's easier. The court has where the man in the wilderness, I say, is that judge, bring them people in front of the court and make them explain. If this man is not retired, make them explain why he's not retired and show us him job letter, show us his performance evaluation, because we know as a public that he has a 91% disapproval rating and crime is not subsiding. And even if they make the argument that crime has leveled out, we never pay him for that. We pay him for him reduce crime and crime gone up. And what's interesting is that crime went up, and guess what else went up? Impia.
And that hurt us. Somebody interview him, Ratty, and them ask him, I'm not good, they ask that, but we should have come 300 and 400. So why not get 300 and 400? Lawsuit for you. Me not ramp with him. Me not play with him.
So,
continue, Ratty.
Yeah, man. So, there's that what I just laid out, what the man in the wilderness is asking on behalf of a whole bunch of people is for the court to bring these parties in front, and if them don't retire him, is to bring them in front and explain why, and also bring him in performance evaluation in, and all of those other things that was necessary to keep him there, because we know that there was nothing there to keep him there. So we want to expose the whole thing. Now, it goes on, there's a section called Statement of Fact, and these are uncontrovertible facts. The applicants are Jamaican citizens. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Their lives have been negatively affected by the high rates and pervasiveness of crime, murders, and violence in Jamaica. That's true. Mm-hmm. They have lost returns on investment made in business. But hey, that's true.
Of course.
The applicants fear for their own security and safety when they travel, blah, blah, blah. That's true.
Okay.
The Jamaican Constabulary Force is the police force of Jamaica. That's true. Its mission is to serve, protect, and reassure. That's true. The role and mission of the JCF and hence the function, duty, responsibility of the Commissioner of Police as the head of the JCF is to ensure that law and order is maintained, to assist in the prevention and detection of crime, to protect life and property, to ensure and enforce all criminal laws of Jamaica, and to provide general assistance to the public. That is true.
Good.
Now, goes on now to say that the Major General Anderson, he was appointed in March 2018, and it took effect on March 19, 2018. And in 2021, the Police Service Commission, they announced the renewal of his contract for a further 3 years. Now, since the appointment of the commissioner, Jamaica has been experiencing wanton spate of crime and criminality. You know what that means, people? That means whoop people are dead and whoop crime are commit. That's what that means. When they say wanton spate of crime and criminality, look beyond this is legalese. We call it legalese. But what it actually means is that things are going on, and the things that are going on are good as far as crime is concerned in the country. They're not good. The homicide rates have increased over the continuing tenure of the commissioner and are at epidemic levels by the United Nations standards. That's true. Now, they will tell you that when they took it in 2016, it went up. And I think 2017, it went way up. It dropped in 2018, went up in 2019, dropped in 2020. But the drop's minor, right? And then it go and back up. Last year was 1,490.
No, 1,500.
I call it 1,500. Yeah, 1,400. 1,498, something like that.
Yes,
right.
Yes. So approximately 1,500, yeah.
So in 2020, there were 1,323 murders in Jamaica, making Jamaica, according to Inside Crime's 2020 homicide report on homicide, the most violent country in Latin America and the Caribbean. And the homicide rate was 46.5 per 100,000. Now, keep in mind that in the region, right, Latin America and Caribbean, I think in the region, the rate is like 16 per 100,000, you know. Don't quote me on it, but it's nowhere near 40. And this one here is 46.5 in 2020. Crime and violence and criminality continued its increase, and in 2022 there were approximately 1,500 murders. Currently, crime and criminality is still rampant, and the perpetrators seem to have been emboldened as the heinous killings, robberies, and other crimes are committed in the light of day in close proximities to police stations and police posts, as well as against police and security officers. That is correct.
Good.
On several occasions, come up. On message my phone at you know. On several occasions, during the continuing tenure of the commissioner, the U.S. government issued level 3 travel advisories.
True.
Due to risk of serious harm to life and property, while prohibiting its officials from traveling to Jamaica. That's true.
True.
The commissioner has utilized the strategy of state of emergency from the beginning of his tenure in 2018 to currently. Under these states of emergencies, thousands of Jamaicans have been arrested and kept in detention for extended periods without being charged. True. The courts have ruled on several occasions, at least 2 occasions I'm aware of, that for that to be in breach of the citizens' rights and therefore unconstitutional, and that SOEs have not stemmed the wanton murders and serious crimes. That's true, because we even have situation where I think it was in Manchester where the police commissioner said that using ordinary police techniques, they were able to keep crime at a lower. And you said, well, wait a minute, hold on. If they're able to do it here, why you need state of emergency? He actually made an argument that state of emergency not working. And now they're boasting that, well, we have minus 23 for the comparable period last year when you compare to this year. But there's no state of emergency right now that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of. So would I tell you, if it's minus something compared to the period last year, and you don't have active states of emergency, that means that you really don't need a state of emergency.
No. You just want to lock up some little innocent youth. You know, catch the 300 people where him say and all kind of things. So now doing work. Yes.
All right. Paragraph number 15. In 2022, pollster Don Anderson, well-revered, well-qualified pollster, revealed the results of a poll of Jamaican citizens in respect to the commissioner's competence in handling the crime problem in Jamaica. And it was realized that 91% of Jamaicans have little or no confidence in the commissioner to curtail the country's high crime and violence and afford them safety. That is true.
Okay.
That's a fact. There's no dispute about that. You know, and the thing about it is that to date, nobody has said that the methodology that Mr. Anderson used was incorrect, or his population survey wasn't quite what it should be, or there's something. Nobody in the government questioned this 91% disapproval rating, right? And you would think that the Prime Minister would take action based on this 91 disapproval, because this 91 disapproval rate didn't happen overnight, you know.
No.
It's been there. It's been going on in front of our very eyes.
And you notice that even the private sector come out and said, no, these are them silent on it. So we have to take action, brother. Continue.
Right. Paragraph 16, the respondents, meaning the Public Service Commission and the Police Service Commission, they're responsible for the appointment, removal, and exercise of disciplinary control in respect to the police officers. While the first one is the Police Service Commission is in charge of disciplinary action for police officers, and the Public Service Commission is responsible for dealing with matters relating to appointment, removal, and exercise of disciplinary control in respect of all public officers, of which the police commissioner falls within that rank.
Good. Yeah, man.
And paragraph 17, pursuant to regulation 26 of the Police Service Regulation, the Police Service Commission has the power to recommend to the Governor General that the commissioner be required to retire in the public interest. That's a very powerful paragraph right there.
Yes.
I hope the GG will listen, because he will have to take some action at some point in this.
Yes, sir.
Unless the police commissioner decide that, you know, this is too much for me. I'm of age. I'm a grandfather. I'm gonna leave.
Just leave.
Right.
Yes, man.
But you know what happened? And he knows, the police commissioner knows that it's the right thing to do in the interest of Jamaica. It's the right thing for him to leave, because the job bigger than him. Him can't manage a job, yeah. Nah. But you know what gonna happen? Them going to force him. He, of his own free will, in his mind, he will want to leave to go home and spend time with his grandchild or grandchildren.
Back to that out.
Yeah, but his superiors will tell him no. You know why? Because if this is allowed to go forward, and if this forces him to resign, then think about what's coming next. There's another person who have a 93% disapproval rating, you know.
Now for him too, man.
And if we can go after somebody with 91, the person with 93 know what's coming next.
Yeah, man.
And all the other failures.
All the other failures. Them, man. But that's a deal with them one.
And we can name them out. Failures like Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Failures like Minister of Health.
Yes.
Failures like Minister of Education. Yeah, failures like Minister of Labor. Minister of Local Government. Yeah. Who else? We left out.
The DPP. I think go for, we just want to get him, the lawsuit him up first, enough of us, not the diaspora and everything, and then we go out for the rest, because it can't work no more. Yeah, man.
Paragraph 20, it said, despite everything that's going on, the crime rate and no effective or reliable crime plan. By the way, them said them have a plan called Plan Secure Jamaica. That plan came from a 2014 document called National Security Plan. And when you read it, it looked nice. But is it effective in its implementation? No. And so what we're saying is that despite the serious circumstances of the wanton loss of life and high continuing crime rates, the people who should remove the police commissioner have failed to take the necessary steps to remove him.
Yeah.
So it says, their action to keep the commissioner in office is unfair because it unfairly frustrates the legitimate expectations of the applicants to the protection of life and property. Of course, like our good friend Jeffrey Tavares would say, he's a clear and present danger. Every day you keep him there. And there's a loss of life in Jamaica.
Brother, the man is a danger to society itself, you know. You understand? Him is not a police commissioner. He more dangerous to us more than anything else. He have to go.
Section B of that says it's unconstitutional as it breaches. Keeping him there is a breach of the Constitution concerning the life and security of the persons guaranteed by the Jamaican Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As keeping him there imposes death or an increased risk of death and loss of property on the applicants, whether directly or indirectly. Again, this is amplification. This is broadening what the earlier provision, and it's saying that in addition to him being a danger, every day you keep him there is an increased risk of death and loss of property.
True.
Whether directly or indirectly to the applicants. And the stats speak for themselves. This is not a make-up thing. Then there's a balancing test here, the paragraph 2 of this section here. Paragraph 2 of the grounds on which the applicants are seeking the orders, right? That section, paragraph 2, said when you do a balancing act, keeping him there outweighs the security and safety of the populace, of the applicants. We want the scale to be like this. We don't want the scale to be like, them can't say, we want the scale to be like this. With crime up, I saw him the right. So we want the scale to be like this. We don't want the scale to be tilted. And when the scale is, and right now we're saying that the scale is tilted, and it's tilted in favor of more crime being committed.
That's true.
More murders, the more you're keeping it, because the man has proven over 2018. Wait, by the way, you said 2018, but it's more like 2017, because remember he was in charge of national security advisor.
Yes,
so he was supposed to advise the prime minister and tell everybody what they're supposed to do.
That's why he's a danger to society, man.
If there was a person who, if you look at it from that perspective, the most fittest person to become police commissioner without anybody interfering with the process, somebody could reasonably make the argument that it would be him, because he was a national security advisor. So we expect more from him.
Yes.
We expect more from him because he sat at the 30,000 foot level. So he saw everything that customs, immigration, the police, the soldier, he saw everything that was being done, and he was supposed to provide recommendation, guidance, counsel to the prime minister, to the parliament. Mm-hmm. So he came, if one could reasonably make the argument that he came prepared to take over this job, mm-hmm. right? And if that is the case, we said fine. But what has he done since then? Section 3 is a procedural question. It just says that anybody who wants judicial review must first obtain leave of court. So must first obtain leave from the court. So that's 3. 4 talks about the crime statistics and the ineffective crime fighting measures of SOE, and the lack, this is a compilation of everything now, and the lack of confidence in the commissioner, and that a lawful and rational decision could only show that the commissioner must be demitted from office. It not say may or maybe.
It
must. Strong language for a strong situation. And it says that the order sought would be in the interest of both justice and good governance. Remember now, the man do a program every Sunday night, and it's called Good Governance. Right? Every Sunday night, you tune into Wayne Lonesome program. That's what the topic is about. Good governance. Exactly. And this is part of good governance.
Yes, sir.
And now we have a section called Other Issues. And it talks about Mr. Lonesome and the other applicants have significant interest in the subject matter, because as the first respondent's action to renew the commissioner's contract and keep him in his position despite the lack of performance and crime statistics has caused them to suffer loss. So what this paragraph is saying that we have interest in seeing him removed. Why? Because when you renew him contract and keep him there, despite the lack of performance and despite the increase in crime in crime statistics, we are suffering.
Of course.
We are suffering. Number 7 says there is no other adequate alternative form of redress available to the applicants, meaning that he has been given a chance. He's been given, no, sorry, I'm wrong. He wasn't given a chance. He was given chances, plural. Lots of chances he was given, right? And him constantly feel. When a man going to tell you, going to stand up in front of a group of people twice and say, well, listen, best practices say that in the law enforcement arena, you shouldn't do more than 2 or 3 technology projects at a time. But in
Yes.
one instance, he said they were doing 12 or I think 12 or 14. Last year when he came to Washington, he said 30 something them I do.
That may I tell you. That's
Best practices, him say it, best practices
yes.
say you shouldn't do more than 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have good, better, best. It's not good practice say you shouldn't do 2 or 3, And then you can't say, well,
Mm-hmm.
let me do a better practice, It's
Yes.
not better practice say you must do 2 or 3, and then you can't say, well, I do best practice. It's best practice say you shouldn't do more 3. You can't go no further than best.
True.
You can't go beyond best. It's best practices. Him say can't say you mustn't do more than 2 or 3. And where do? Him say do 30 something. This tell us something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. I'm not about to comment on his mental ability or inability,
No.
except to say that something is wrong here. Something is wrong.
Yes.
Paragraph 8 says no time limit for making the application has been exceeded, as the Major General is still serving as a commissioner of the JCF, meaning that if he had left or put in his resignation papers, then this wouldn't be necessary. We'll just wait for him to go. And number 9 says the matter is in the public's interest as the respondents' actions pose a serious security risk to the life and property of all Jamaicans, both home and abroad. That's true.
100%
Yeah.
true. Yes, man.
The applicants are personally and directly affected by the respondents' action to keep the commissioner in office, despite the failure to protect. Again, we said this has been mentioned before that the Police Service Commission, the Public Service Commission, every day that you keep this man there is a problem.
True.
Is a problem, and they know it, but for reasons that we shall discuss later, he's still being allowed to keep his position. And then 11 talks about who's representing this lawsuit and says that the hearing is likely, it has to tell the court how long you think this hearing is, you'll take to make the argument. And it says 30 minutes. And so it's filed. So now it has been filed with the clerk of the court. So now they have to assign a judge to this and tell us the day that they'll have the hearing. And it was filed. The affidavit was sworn to by Mr. Wayne Brown on March 11, 2023. And this application that I'm reading was filed on the 13th, 2 days later of March 2023. So people, that's it. That's it. So, I mean, this is serious business now. We are playing for all the marbles now because the police commissioner now, his accomplishments or the lack thereof are now in question. Now I'm going to have to go explain now. And by the way, this lawsuit, it has repercussions not only in Jamaica but across the globe.
Of course.
And if the Jamaican government, they're listening, but if they have any sense, what they'll do is they'll kindly ask him to remove, because you know what this has done now? This has highlighted his failures. So think about now when him sit down now with the Americans, with the Brits, with the Germans, with the Japanese, with the Canadians, with all the international partners to do business, and them know because this is a public document. Them say this and them say, but weird. People are filed and say, well, you're incompetent. So why should we work with you? Why should we trust you? He's damaged.
Of course.
Damaged.
So we tell him go home long time. So I'm not here. So we say we have filed a lawsuit. We tell him last week. We give him a week. Him get a week. We should have give him a couple of days. So if we knock him with it, we not play. We have to give him the lawsuit. And this is the first in our history, by the way. It's a history making thing, yes. And them have enough more follow behind this.
First time in history that I can remember that unless somebody wants to prove me otherwise, but this is the first time to my recollection that a lawsuit of this nature was filed against a police commissioner for his removal.
Yes.
For his removal. It's not filed. If you notice, you can file something called a mandamus writ, and then you force the police commissioner to do what he's required to do.
No,
this gone past. This gone past it. This is saying we don't want him.
Yeah,
make him go away. This is what this is saying. This is saying make him go home.
Him to go home.
I know for a fact that he has one grandchild. And how do I know this? Because on February 28th, 2020, he was at a town hall meeting in Fort Lauderdale, and he mentioned that his first grandchild was born that day. I don't know if he have any since, but at least I know he has one. And the suggestion is for him to go home and play granddaddy. That's the suggestion. The suggestion is that this job here is this job here requires total concentration, total focus. And what this is saying is that he's incapable of doing that. Or if he's not incapable of doing it, he's not doing it, which is even worse. Because no, it shows willful neglect of your job. If you know you're supposed to do it, you know, if you don't know you're supposed to do this, then fine. You know, maybe there's a mental defect there. But if you know and you don't do it, that's a serious problem. Of course. Serious problem. Either way, it's a serious problem. So look, I just want to congratulate the man in the wilderness because, and I think the entire Jamaican population, not women abroad, who you have debt of gratitude because you're doing something that a lot of us would like to do, but we just never do it. We're afraid. We're afraid. But again, you know,
not the renegade.
Renegade who not afraid. You see? So this thing here now is gonna reverberate throughout Jamaica and in the international community because this is a man who recently was in Washington. Yes. Representing Jamaica, asking for assistance. And when this thing come out now, and the facts are uncontrovertible. So anybody who think that them things are lie, you can't find them facts.
But lie, it's there. They're at front of you. We can't play some things, you know, remember? The man can't even talk for save himself, brother. And brother, he might put Jamaican life. The man put more Jamaican life in danger more than anything else. Right? The man say they have imaginary line, a man go kill people in a St. Elizabeth and I come back and the police catch them. Them reach them target. So even you say them never get away. Them do the act and when them come back, them get catch.
Hold on a sec. You know, you make another point that we had on Dennis Brooks, the communication strategist for the JCF. Yes. Let me just say a dear friend of mine, like him a lot. Family man, all that decent man. But I have to show that inside, man. I haven't tried that in there. But what Dennis said was last week, Dennis said that the police were employing intelligence-led investigations, and to that end, they stopped more than 300 murders or something to that effect. And then you brought up the point, say, so how come we don't see all of them people arrested for attempted murder?
If you, that better said, all them do is go run and tell lie and hold them accountable. You stop 300 that are out of them. Them have 300 criminal where them can't find. Them love use 300, you know. Now them stop 300 murder. Just listen them. Them compose music and everything. Them have 300 criminal create havoc in the place. Them have 300 murder with them stop. If you stop it, that means you catch the criminal them who are commit the murder. And you know so them are commit the murder, that means them supposed to get sentenced and sent to prison. You see them say them catch 300 set of people who are commit murder and sent to prison. You see that? No way at all. Lie them at tell. Lie them at tell. Yeah? Just to look good. Them stop 300 murder. From get committed one hour. Step what, man? Them two like him and a police, by the way, you know. We used to move to him swiftly. Him and a police. He never go on no training, nothing. Yeah, him at about education, foolishness. Him a communication, a cheap, seen as strategist. Strategist. You know, strategize. So when the commissioner attack him, come to tell lie and put up with, yeah, brother, we not in that with them, you know. We tell them the man of the wilderness, this, you know. We not ramp, you know. We see we get a call, so the history we are creating on the again, no chatting. Bless up, Father.
Well, we catch you later when you're radical. Mr. Radical. Yo, sir. Pick up the officer alone so the renegade are afraid. Trust me. Why this is history? This will make public going on, because they more hide it, you know. So we talk about it more and more.
No, that's a public, man. Them know, say, them know we are doing, man. And we are going for more of them too, man. Because we tell them, you know. So we tell them, so we come out for them and a joke we make. We them think a joke, you will laugh. We don't make joke that way there. We might laugh, but we don't make joke. Yeah, man, and me eat fish, but me not eat pork. Yeah, man, I drink water, but me not smoke, you know? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Put on your commission suit here, sir. Get this suit on.
Yeah, man. And it's what we are doing now. We're telling people them time for them to get up and stand up and stand up for the rights.
You know how much people in New York want to go, man.
That we are fight for. But you see what me tell you? All right, you have a virgin. Never virgin where I do something right now. Big up yourself, coach. And you know, in that we have a meeting where we keep at about some things and you know, put some things together between us as Caribbean people and what have you, and they might tell about different nation. And then you have some people might come in and say, hey, but this and that, me just tell them, say, yeah, me know. Me's an action figure still, you know, me not really, you know, me not like keep too much of that kind of a meeting the way some people are say, if this and that, if me say me I do the thing, me I do it. You work to be a man, brother. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
So
I don't know if you hear the news today. But them said the British and the Canadian and those people, the people them that do business are turning away from Jamaica.
We know that already. No, so we know about yes, we know about the whole of that already, man. So you understand. Remember, so we are telling them to draw out their money and don't put the money in there. Now. You forgot so we are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, until the Prime Minister come and say, boy, if this was a war, but it's serious.
We need to charge the Prime Minister too. You need to file one for the Prime Minister.
Yeah, man, we're get there too, man.
Yeah, man, because we want to come on, brethren. We can't take no more of the coal. We island is so beautiful. And so pretty. The man them try to put relative. What me and the woman talk about, the man of go up into there and cry shame. That's ridiculous.
Okay. Yes, man. All right, hold on, Carla. Me have a next call up on me thing here.
It don't take you 5 minutes to open an account in our bank because every bank should have. Once you have an account in our bank, you should have a ATM. Nobody's supposed to leave and go nowhere.
True, man. Ridiculous. Me have a next call up on the line. Me have a next call up on the line, so I got answer it here.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yes, I am happy that Latigas outlined the fact that Jamaica's international partners in policing will be very concerned about the commissioner's tenure now that he has been fully exposed into the courts. And not only that, but locally too. What do you think his subordinates will view him from here on? That he is sued because of his incompetence and because of preferential treatment in front of the Police Services Commission. That is why he was selected. Because he had no previous policing experience and so many qualified police personnel were available for the position. And they parachuted him into the commissioner's office without due consideration for the safety of our country. Because in order to do policing job from the leadership position, he has to have police experience. How is he going to deal with his subordinates? Give them instructions, as you normally say, speak in police language and so on, which is law enforcement language. You notice that you always pointed out, Mr. Lonesome, that whenever he is in front of people at various audiences, he doesn't speak like a police because he doesn't know law enforcement language.
True.
So, with this lawsuit in motion, is subordinates going to make a mockery of him?
Of course.
How is he going to give them instructions with this lawsuit being filed in the courts? And from all indication, it's a good lawsuit. It has the prospect of winning. You know, it has reasonable prospects in the courts. So it is not a play thing. And when you file a suit, I'm sure you file to win the case.
Of course.
I'm saying that the easiest thing for the commissioner to do is to resign, to save the Public Services Commission from going through all these legal expenses, etc. in the courts. Just to bow out, you know?
Yes.
Because the longer he stays, is the more they're going to make a mockery of him, and he's going to put pressure on the wider government.
Of course.
And not only the police force. But it has a massive implication. I agree with Mr. Rattigan that the commissioner being sued to vacate his position because of lack of performance and so many citizens dying left, right, and center, and the police leadership failed to provide a viable pathway. So I agree entirely that this lawsuit is on good footing.
Done.
Yeah, man, I think it's even historic, as you mentioned. I can't remember of a police commissioner being asked to resign like that, or for him to be evicted from his position, so to speak.
Yes,
you know, it has massive implication, I can tell you. And I'm sure that various media houses will call the attorney who filed the suit and the claimants also. Yes. Because the radio stations and the television stations, they're going to need clarification, they're going to need to know what motivated you to file the documents and so on. But the motivation is clearly in the content of the suit. Right. That you want to preserve law and order and protect as much citizens as you can. Because you can't have a negligent commissioner or an incompetent commissioner managing a police force in a country that is crime-ridden like Jamaica. It's, as you said, it's dangerous and is a clear and present danger to the society. No way. Even if Jamaica was not so volatile, you still couldn't have such an incompetent commissioner. And our situation, we probably pass Mexico and Colombia, and those countries are fighting drug wars. Mm-hmm. And we don't have any civil unrest in Jamaica. And look at the amount of people who are dying, and yet still there is no solution, no crime plan, no form of activity to curb crime. Instead, the country is put on autopilot. Mm-hmm. So anything goes. The criminals are on loose. They can do just about anything. And once they escape from the crime scene, they will never ever be caught. Very highly unlikely. Mm-hmm. That is what is happening in Jamaica. So the people who are killing these other persons, they have an incentive to kill because their chances of being caught probably 3% out of 100 or 5%, but it's very minuscule. So it's a good thing, you're called to action. And, I know, Mr. Lonesome, that you're doing this lawsuit from your heart.
Of course.
To help the Jamaican people. I know it's not a frivolous lawsuit. It is a serious lawsuit.
Very serious lawsuit.
And I'm sure Jamaican people will give it reasonable assessment as you proceed with the matter. All right? And thank you for doing it, man. It's a public good you're doing.
Yes, man. All right, my brother. Respect. Cool. Yes, Ratty.
Boy, I get a whole heap of call, people ask how them can sign up and things like that, People are getting inspired by it, You can hear me?
Ratty, me I hear you. Yeah, man.
What, you have a call? Take the call.
No, man. Go and talk, Ratty. Go and talk. Go and talk a minute.
Yeah, people are, what you hold on there. What I'm tell you. When some call Lonesome, call the program now. All right, cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, but for serious around here, we're not play with them around there, so. And let me tell you something.
What you sending the money call? Hold on there.
Yes.
Tigo, call the program now. You have the number, right?
Yeah, man, call the program. Every time you interview this commissioner of police, right?
No, call the Lonesome. Call the program.
Yeah, man, I get a call. Okay, hold on. Yes, bless Carla.
I'll send you the number. I'll send it to you.
Bless Carla.
Hello, Mr. Lonesome.
Hey.
Love the fact that you went out and you did this. And my stand is right now that every single Jamaican that has lost somebody in the diaspora, that has lost a family member in Jamaica, should sue the Jamaican government and hold them accountable.
Yes.
We need to bear on them.
Yes. We need
totally
to
bear on them.
Yeah,
and
man.
No letting up.
Yeah, man. No letting up at all. Yeah? No letting up.
Every single person in the diaspora who has lost a family member in Jamaica,
yes.
How do we file a lawsuit against them?
We will tell them, man. When them contact us, we tell them, man. And we have the lawyer, you know, we have the lawyer, them and everything, you know. So when them ready,
I would love to speak to Mr. Rattigan in regards to that.
yes. Yeah, man, and we have the lawyer in Jamaica and everything, and you know, overseas and everything. We have the whole lawyer, Rattigan a lawyer too and everything. So you know, we're ready. When we say we are moving,
This is Carla, this is just the template, and I think this is the first shot in the salvo of shots that will come after. So to legal shots I'm talking about, so to speak, because yeah, I think we have there's enough evidence there that a court can look at it and reasonably make a determination that they're in violation, and that these people who we have elected, we don't have to stay with them forever and ever. It's not an everlasting thing. And so if we ask for them to be removed based on their failure, and not only the failure, but look at the damaging effects. It's not like Ministry of Labor or something like that. You know, this is Ministry of National Security. When they make a mistake, people die. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. And for too long we sit down and take them things, and it's about time now we get out there and say, listen, we're fed up, we're tired, and we need some relief. You know?
Question, Mr. Rattigan. Question. I have been thinking about this. This has been a burning issue in my spirit from the other day. Now, a lot of people in the diaspora have lost family members there in Jamaica due to all kinds of the whole violence and everything. My thing is, can we, the diaspora, sue the Jamaican government as a result of this?
Well, you know what they say, you can't sue a ham sandwich, you know, you can't sue anything and anybody in court. It just depends on the evidence that you have and what the courts will.
All right. So what you just say, all right, the thing what you just talking about, right? With the dying and them thing. Remember the commissioner now, we know. We're in charge of the police, them, you know. We're supposed to serve, protect, and reassure, right? And then we can go after Theme Boss, and the National Security Minister, well, a part of the government, that too. Because them supposed to provide, so we can sue them. Right, Ratty?
Yes, Mr. Lonesome, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but we also, so we go from one to one, and then we have to go for the DPPF shouldn't move neither because they're illegal.
Well, but ideally, what we want to still is that some of it you have a sequential order in which you can sue certain people, because you have to start like from the bottom and go up. But there's some people you can sue at the same time. And what we like for this, keep the government in court all the time. So we want to sue 2 and 3 of them at a time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Way to go.
All right. I'm going to take a next call here, Carla.
Yeah, man, we'll talk.
All right.
Okay, then.
Cool. Yes, Carla. Carla?
Yo.
Yeah, man, bro. Yeah, man.
What is going on, son?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Like, there's some questions to ask who are going to Jamaica, you know, brother.
Yeah,
because we have a prime minister here, Radam, who in poor a Jamaican was St. Lucia, I want to punch and come back a multi-million. We want to know where I'm going with the money. And he might pick me out of Bronx when wife to know about. And nobody not talk about that type of word about other people in Jamaica. We not do nothing for the Jamaican people. Need to go.
All right. Listen. All right. All right.
This a boy I forgot, brother.
All right, sir. Go and listen here. Go and get some other call. All right. Bless.
All right.
Yes, Ratty. You can give answer to that.
I forget her for that one. But yeah, the caller just said that, you know, the caller just said, what on there? Virgin, I'm calling about the Lonesome program, yeah. Or you can tune in on the program, yeah?
Yeah, Ratty.
All right. But yeah. Yeah, the people have been asking questions saying this prime minister never had a 9 to 5. Them say never have a real 9 to 5 that we can track and trace funds to. And say, okay, he was a big time lawyer and he make money, or a big time doctor, whatever. He was a political operative, and that was it. And then all of a sudden we heard about a St. Lucian company, and that is 2 minor sons, they were on the board, and then next thing you know, we hear about dollars and all of this stuff. I mean, and people and then that's compounded by the fact that the Integrity Commission can't really verify his financial submissions up to now. Them still, I think 2 years or a year, so them can't verify.
So we are getting serious and hold them accountable, because that embarrassing right away, he said, from 2021, and him not declare him asset or not yet from 2021.
No,
Right?
and declare it, but them can't verify. Them that
They
say,
can't verify.
yeah, they
Whoa,
must say, they must say, they must say
okay.
the things when put on paper. They must say we can't match it up. We can't
That
give
bad.
credence to
That
it.
bad.
You know,
That bad.
Them
Whoever
so,
next,
so,
Carla.
so they
Carla?
can't certify it.
Yes, Carla.
Yeah, we alone, so.
Yeah, man, bless.
Yeah, but I have a question for Ratty, are you?
Yeah, man.
You know what I look your answer. Can we, as the diaspora, have a class action suit where you bring up Pan Mr. Andrew Holness go right down to the Google Gaga we are talking about. Because we ready to get the class signatures, you know. We ready to get signature over here.
Yeah, but we just file suit another signature alone. Remember the whole of we. Remember be a family and friend we have, you know. So you yourself can come and file to talk to them and you file on behalf of them. So it's deal. So you know if you go around in this long circle. I'm gonna make Ratty enter the rest. So when you see us like we. So when we have the things we are talking like remember we have on thousands of people there. We can't say all right, boom bam bam and we just say, yeah, all right, we keep a meeting and we say, all right, you know, me we do this. I made it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
where you could have do is you could have do it this way as all Mr. Lonesome do it when file on behalf of the people them. And then if there come a point where the court say, well, then we don't know who these people are, so you have to bring signatures. Then at that point you get the signatures them. But yeah, you can file a class action.
And then as a citizen still, you yourself can do it on behalf
Exactly.
of what? So the court can't even question me. So
Right.
I mean I have to carry everybody. But when you do that now, we don't want to take the long route where you have to go around and say, all right, you send this and you send that and you send that and too much of the talking. You have to just full of action. So when them do that now, them know you have knock one and then you say, we could line up two more and we scope the Ratty. And because some I call Ratty, you will line up two of them, but who next? I'm done a DPP and
No.
National Security. I would just knock them two. And you understand? So we're serious. We're not joke. We're not joking. You know, go for back the people them, man. Yeah, man.
yo, keep up the good work, man. We are watching you from a distance, man, and we ready, you know.
All right.
Time for we get them hooligans there. You let them bad man they out of government.
And them to go to prison to enough for them or criminal. Yes, man.
Yes.
All right, sir. Bless.
Respect, wait. Big up yourself, Ratty.
Yes, my brother. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ratty. So we have to do it, you know. We have to hold them accountable. And them know so we're not a joke. You understand? It better for the commissioner to just resign and leave and go him yard like tonight. And him good. You understand more than go through this. So if him want to stay, well, him stay and face it. So I feel him think that.
Yeah, it look. I mean, at his age and stage in life, it would be better for him for just step aside because
Just
this
step
is embarrassing.
aside.
This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And the thing about it is that he cannot walk away from the 91% disapproval rating. And that 91% disapproval rating, people, now listen to me carefully. That's the general population, you know. If you go now and you ask the police when in charge, if you do the survey at the police, I'm being told that you had 99% you're gonna get.
Yes.
It's gonna be even higher. So and here is something. This has affected the morale of the police officers. This has affected the morale. When you don't have a leader, you have somebody who think and is like a manager, and is a poor manager at best. I mean, how does that inspire you to go out now and do your job when you don't have resources? And when we know for a fact that this man is sending back money, I'm being told that money is going back to the general fund because him don't spend it. Him don't promote people. And I've been told also that he has the right to promote people up to the rank of sergeant without having to go through the formal procedures that you go to get somebody like assistant superintendent and so on and so forth. That him can just promote people. Right? And yet still we have people who are corporal for 20 years. Right? I mean, good, solid, trained investigators who have struggled for 20 years to get a promotion. And I know some of them too. And them said this man, people have said to me, go back and look at how much money in return to the consolidated fund. I think them how much money them turn back in a year time. Yes. And then track that and see where the money did come for. And why never use it and why it got sent back.
But hear this though, them buy all them spend 1.8 billion, that about 176 billion Jamaicans. So them are fix this and fix that. They still have police station, no have a car. You have police, all them thing they not bring up yet, you know. You have police in a Clarendon, go have to use taxi. If you go up on crime scene, that the bait of taxi man and everything. You understand? Taxi. You have police all about, listen me, police all inferior vest, get gunshot and it pierce the vest. Eh?
Look,
Come on now. It bad. This bad. And this commissioner, Jamaica commissioner, is a direct danger to society, to Jamaican society. A matter of fact, people in the diaspora too. Because you know you have the people them down there and everything. Let me tell you this, him not know about police work. The man need to step away. No
look.
joke about it, no 2 ways
All
about
right,
it.
let me just talk about this a little bit here, right?
Yes.
There is something called the and again, you know, we always try to come with facts, you know. We're not something called staff orders for the public service, and this is something that governs all ministries, right? For the
Yes.
public service. And one of the things, chapter 9 talks about performance management, and it talks about how you set out your goals and objectives and you hold people to them. And I guarantee you, if you go to 9.5, it's called essential requirements for an effective performance management system. The police now have this. Are them not following it? This is 9.6, rules and responsibilities, and it tells you how to get your cadre or your trained cadre, your policemen and women, how to get them up to speed so that they can perform at an acceptable level. They're not doing it, and the reason why they're not doing it is because it's not filtering down. You don't have a leader who pay attention. Who pay attention to rules and regulations and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You don't have a leader who get up and say, you know what? I go and just pay some surprise visits for my policemen and women them. And come out of the office all up road.
Yeah, it will
Come out,
upload,
yeah,
yes.
come out of the office and travel
Yes.
around and meet people and do the
Yeah,
town
man.
hall meetings. Not do the town hall meetings from upper Wall up road or wherever. Go out and meet the people. Listen to people. Attend to people. Respond to people. Correspond with people. Him not do none of them things,
Yeah,
Him
man.
not do none of them things, because you know why? Him don't have the passion. Him don't have the fire in him gut.
That me I say.
Him don't have it.
Hold on, hear
Him
that
don't-
call there. Jeffrey.
Yes, sir. I get to understand that I saw the application you filed against the police commissioner of police Twiddly Dum Dum.
Yes, sir.
But good afternoon, His Excellency, future Commissioner of Police Wilfred Radigan.
No, sir. Okay, Speaker of the Senate. Good evening, Speaker of the Senate. How are you, sir?
Good evening to you, sir. But on a very serious note, Wayne.
Yes.
What is going on? You see, a lot of people is with you because listen to me. The only radio station in Jamaica that breaks this news is Roots 96.1 FM.
Yes.
Not a radio station breaks news. Because what? We decided enough of what is going on in Jamaica to show the Jamaican people that yes, we can file evidence against the Commissioner of Police. We can even file against the Governor General if we want to.
Of course.
Because they're not above the law.
Nah.
Not above the law. And the Commissioner of Police must go. He hasn't done anything to alleviate the crime situation in Jamaica. And the good gentleman must just step down, do the honorable thing, Commissioner of Police, and resign. Do the honorable thing and resign. The people in the diaspora are tired of you. We're fed up of your way of, or you end up doing, the whole commissioner thing. You are not a proper commissioner, sir. With all due respect to you, sir, you need to step down, go give it to somebody else. Step down, sir. You need to go. You, as a matter of fact, you're the Minister of National Security, you need to resign. You and the Minister of National Security is a clear and present danger to the national security of the citizens of Jamaica.
True.
And it's full time you all pack on the bags and go, man.
True.
The people of Jamaica cannot continue like this anymore. Jamaica cannot continue like this anymore. We cannot continue as a nation where crime is out of work, corruption stinks to the high seven, worse than Riverton Dump. And you sit in the place collecting how much millions of dollars. It's time for you to go. You need to resign, man. Do all the thing and resign. Go, man, go and sit down, go out in the wind, and go and shoot birds somewhere, and play golf somewhere. Give the commissionership to somebody who can respect the rank and file of the JCF and curb crime in Jamaica.
Well,
Mr.
you know,
Lonesome.
Just Vatican.
you know what? I'm just going through just a simple point, this I want big up all of the police, them, you know, all of the policemen and women, dedicated, hardworking crime fighters who put on the lives on the line every day for little and nothing. And when you get some equipment, when you get equipment, it's not first rate either. It's probably the lowest bidder. But anyway, let me throw something out here. The government's supposed to provide, if you're below an officer, right? When I say officer, I mean like anything above sergeant, right? Them supposed to give you, this government supposed to give you uniform. And here's what the government's supposed to give you: shirt, badge, numerals, buttons, trousers, boots, socks, cummerbund, belt, medal ribbons, P-cap, tunic, navy blue shirt, trousers. Yeah, so they have two types. They have the working dress and they have the dress uniform, right? No, them supposed to give you boots, 2 every year. Every officer in the JCF supposed to get 2 boots per year. The one who did a march the other day and them boot heel tear off, I don't think him to get 2 boots for the year. I don't think him get boots. Them supposed to give you 8 shirts. Ask a police officer when last them get 8 shirts from the JCF. 8. Them supposed to get a year. Them supposed to get trousers 4. Ask them when last time get 4. Right? Dress shirt 2. Socks 4 pair of socks a year. Ask them when last time get that. Then breeches 4, cummerbund 3, waist belt 1, and them per year now. Tie, cap. No, them not get them things. And remember now, you know, this is just uniform, you know. We never not talk about guns yet, you know, and cars, and pepper spray, and body cam, and collapsible baton, and stationary. We never not get to them things yet, you know. And yet still the man saying him going to spend 1.2 billion US dollars from 2016 to 2023. And the money can't trickle down for buy them things. We hear an argument being made that, it's because supply chain issues. There were no supply chain issues in 2016 and 2017 and 2018 and 2019 and the first part of 2020. There were no supply chain issues then. So, you know, the police are get a raw deal. No, police, we have to tell them, we have some bad apples in the ranks. But the bad apples make up a tiny majority. Tiny majority. Most of them, the overwhelming majority of police officers, let me say, decent, hardworking public servants who put life on the line so that them can provide a sense of peace and security to the rest of Jamaica. And yet still them can't get a good contract up to this point.
Oh no. But
Can't get a good
contract. You know what hurt me? Them take this man when I do nothing on the police. And them give him 4.8 million for him pay for doing nothing. Put people life in a danger. Inferior this, inferior that, the ratings and everything, and then push him up. He is not no police commissioner, man. He no know nothing about police work, brother. Man, for go home.
You know, with the people say, you know, the military teaches you leadership. But leadership also in it have to come from within, you know. It have to come from within. And what the military can do is expand that leadership where you have. Build upon that leadership where you have. If you don't have it in you, my brother, and you just a pass exam, paperwork and things like that, that don't mean say you're a leader. Just because you sit down at the headmaster chair, that don't mean say you're the headmaster. Right? Because as I said before, if you put a clown in the headmaster chair where you don't have school, you have a circus.
All right.
So the leadership, there's no leadership there. No leadership there. Hey, you want to find out something? Ask any police you see on the street. Just ask them, what are your goals and objectives to your unit? Just ask them that. What are the goals and objectives of the JCF? Ask them. They don't know. Because you know why? The person who's supposed to lead not leading. Because when you lead them, know. When you lead them, know.
Lead him, the man sit down and the man talk so much crap. It unbelievable.
You ask him a question. Somebody asked him a question the other day about what can you do to bring the community into concert with working with the police and whatnot. And him start talking about privilege and blessed and something like that. And it have nothing to do with the question what I'm asking. Nothing. Nothing. Then them start. Then what I know. Then they come out and start out say, "Well, I'm not wearing my my commissioner's hat or police hat." From your police commissioner 24/7.
You don't know that.
You're 24/7. You never have duty if you're a police commissioner. You never have duty. And the man make a ridiculous statement saying that, well, I'm not wearing my police commissioner's hat or something like that. I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, the greatest, man.
We get a caller. Yeah, caller. Go to Eyes on the Five. Yeah, man.
Brother, make I tell you something, you know. You are the greatest Jamaican, man. Make I tell you something. Make I tell you something, you know. Yo, this is history. Hey, no want people to document this, you know. Because it's not going to stop, you know.
Nah, sir, we just start. We just ready to start. Go on,
you understand? This is not going to stop, you know. I know go on alone and want, you know. We want the dirty, when they the crop star. If you do it, you know.
Yo, man. Yeah, for them to man. Yeah, right? For them to man. And any judge.
Andrew.
Yeah, man.
I want a forensic audit on the Prime Minister. I want a forensic audit on nasty stinking Colonel Charles land went up. I'm going to take back the land and give it to Jamaican people. That's what I want.
Yeah, man.
I want to listen to them a PNP, you know. Any one of them a thief.
Yep.
Same thing. We say clean up Jamaica. And then we start from somewhere when I ramp with them.
Hey, I hear me, man. I tell you something now. None of them know, in my opinion, none of them know why Raticans become commissioner, you know. Because you know what, it's too dangerous to them.
Yeah, but a man like me, in the chair, and them, I'm well one from some bangle, can have some bangle on there, you know. So Ratigan up there, them know say file I run like crazy, you know. Them know say God, you know.
There's an issue them out, so
yeah, I don't want the Jamaican people them. I don't want the Jamaican people them forget, you know. Say a both party, you know, Ratigan go to them and say, yo, when you're ready, you know, and a both of them turn them and say, no, you know. So you know, so there must be something. Mark, you must come and prove yourself. So I believe Mark, you know. I believe Mark is a decent human being, you know. That's how me believe, you know.
Yeah.
I just want him to come. Me see you have Andre Hilton. What a breath of fresh air for listening to Andre last night, man.
Boy, me I tell you, man.
Yeah, man.
A breath of fresh air to listen to Andre Hilton last night.
Yes,
on the program. And I hope you call him back.
Yes.
Right? So no make nobody tell them what you appear don't say they're Jamaican. Nothing go so.
Yeah, true, man.
You understand?
The whopping starting over there. Because we want Google, you know, we tell him, say, just leave no man before we lawsuit you, but lawsuit you up better. You
never listen.
Eh?
You don't listen to you.
Them don't know, so I make jokes still, you know.
Brother, we want all of them. Hey, Mr. Like, just give them some kind of thing and say, yo, you see anybody who knows them thief before the investigation start, come in and declare yourself.
Yeah.
And then we deal with you.
Yeah, man.
To a lesser extent. But nobody thinks you're going to have it. You can imagine, say, Colonel Charles have over 1,000 acres of land. And if you could give 1,000 Jamaica each acre, you know, say you have 1,000 people in the homeless.
True, man. I need 2,000 acres, man. 2,000 acres, not 1,000.
Yeah, right? So if we can fix up that, and just go to, I say, no, give it to Jamaican people. We are work and they need a little start.
Yes.
Right? Out of the 2,000 acres, you will need some item for roads and all that, something that it will look so good and any government to come out and do that.
Yes, man. That's why the other day when them said the 3,000 acre land, but them again leeching, and I said, no, yeah, what you gonna do now? Because if you give him the land, you know, and him say him a plant it up, say him hire people for plant it, and you carry a banana, just a hand, Police are gonna lock you up and put you in a prison and say you're thief.
Yes.
So if me cut it in a half acre, 3,000 acre, make it 6,000 family. 6,000. Them build them little thing and them do them own farming for them own self for eat. Nobody now lock them up. And then if they say 1,000 of them do yam, you still have the yam for export or feed the place. 1,000 of do
Yes.
banana and planting. The most of this 1,000 do this. We have food.
Yeah.
And you know, nobody feel
Yeah,
like up, you
man.
can feed the family. So me I give them ideas. See?
Yes.
Me I give them great ideas,
cycle.
brother. Break the cycle. We
Break
want
the
more.
cycle.
Jano. You want to give millionaire
Yeah.
more money. Man, we are 70
Yeah.
yard, like, you know, plan like, you have a day, you just a scrape same way. What happened to you?
Yeah.
What for raise other people, brother?
I watched Andre Hilton last night, right? I
Yes.
see Rattigan fire question at him. I see Jeffrey fire question. I see Lonesome fire question. He didn't itch. Right?
Yes.
If he didn't know something, he will tell you. You understand?
That's true.
And,
Yeah.
and his reasoning was so intelligent and intellectual. I've never seen it
Yeah,
in
man.
a long time in Jamaica. Andre Hilton, anyone in this, sir, pick up yourself, sir.
It's your way.
Anyone in there, pick up yourself.
And him answer with more. You know the people them when you talk to them people, them more answer with a. Come me talk to MP Marisky. And him just easy same way him just answer you straight and everything. Him tell you say, hey, he may tell you say $10.8 million for the hospital down the hospital, right? Down the Western Hospital. 10.8 billion. And yes, still, you know, after that the health minister come and, you know, them revise and say 10.8 billion overrun, you know. And a 5 again and a 3 again. Talk to me.
Yeah, and he was so humble. You know, sir, Andre, he actually didn't want to take credit for the August Town thing.
He say him go to somebody and him talk to him, that professor there, and you hear him tell you?
Yeah, right?
Yes, you see him humble.
He didn't want to take credit for it. And he said, well, give Caesar some credit.
He gave everybody some credit.
If the youth themselves credit enough.
Yes,
including
that's good.
Up to the police, what name again?
Bailey, Fitz Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Fitz Bailey. He gave them all credit.
Yes,
he said
yes.
he didn't want to take the credit. And if that's a roadmap, I hear you talk about the ghetto all the time. That's just like the roadmap, you know, for them to use, you know. And use the same strategy in other communities.
Yes.
Right? But it's more important for them to protect rural read than criminal. Right? They must stop it, man.
Yeah, man.
But the program is so good, my brother. The program is so good. It's like no other. You understand?
Remember, so we are doing things, we are doing real things, and we tell them, so we not play around here now. Them don't know my style, you know, but, you know, they catch my style little by little, because when me talk, they might think, say, when them see me and laugh, them know, say, me I see you, smarty, you know.
Brother, how can you have, as a Jamaican, you have a man like Rattigan, 30 years experience
Yes.
in the FBI, and you're denying that for your country? You're a piece of shit. That's what you're doing.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But me now want to go program, sir. Go on, do you think we're going to just go and watch it here, sir?
All right, sir.
So Lonesome, you just run this straight in the critique for last night. Are you finish a program and come back later?
We have come back. I remember, so we have finish a program. We have one for 8 o'clock, you know, which is 7 o'clock, and we see it run. So it's like we're going to finish that one, you know, and then
jump on.
So we have Jim and Crawford for carry on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we go 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock film time. So we see the time around. So people.
Oh wait. What time you bring him on? Because
8 o'clock. So
8 o'clock whose time? Our time, which is half
7
hour
o'clock
from now.
Jamaica time.
Okay,
so you know, like less than half an hour.
No,
little bit more than half an hour.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, so we could just deal with the day.
Make the announcement and tell the people them said Damon will come on at 8, and we're gonna also talk some more about this. And we want to talk about the unemployment rate where the minister of the government are talking about. And then don't forget, last night we have a whole bunch of things whenever I start talking.
All right, so we could knock it now. But Google, I better you do the honorable thing, because we're not let you go. I will tell you already, so we're serious about that. We're not hand down bet, because we don't go like them, like we make joke. We don't make joke. Now watch how we smile and laugh and call. No, we serious for what we are do.
Them see we, but them not know we, man.
And that me tell you, the renegade one here, you know, we are ratting them. Be careful of we, you know. All right,
Yeah.
we don't talk.
All right.
Yeah, man.
8
Yeah,
o'clock,
man.
half hour from